Alright, what's up YouTube? Today I'm bringing you guys another commentary, but today's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be showing more tips and cues that I use when I deadlift. As I know there are a couple people who probably watch me that, don't train or are looking to get into training, and, obviously when you first start you want to build that foundation and, get pretty good at the compound movements, the main three, squat, bench, deadlift. So today I'm going to be going over a few tips, a few cues that I use, a few guidelines and stuff like that, a couple issues and maybe how to fix them. And I just want to start off by saying that, I'm not an expert at, deadlifting or lifting in general. I'm not a power lifter. I'm not super strong, but I do know a couple things that help me and that can prevent injury. And I'm always a big advocate of form, even though I'm still working on mine. So the first thing I want to talk about is body types and leverages. Leverages play a huge, if not the most important role in deadlifting. Taking into account all these complicated things, including your limb length, your torso length, stuff like that, your body can be quote unquote better as a stance of sumo or deadlift. Me personally, based on my body type, it says I'm better for conventional, although I do prefer sumo. So leverages are important, but only usually in strength training. If your goals are to get really strong, then leverages are really important, so you should probably work on, that specific stance. Not to say that you can't experiment or go the other route. I have a couple of friends who are meant to do a certain way, but they prefer another one. So you can just experiment and see what works out the best for you. Now, personally, I'm not into strength training. I was for a while, but I'm off of that, so now I just do whatever I feel like it, but conventional is going to help you have a thicker back. So like I said, leverages play a huge part if you're doing a strength training. So you can find out your limb length, stuff like that. I'll leave a link in the channel or in the description of a video that helped me figure out what is best for my body type. So like I said, my stance is conventional, although I do prefer sumo, but I've dropped sumo just because sumo is usually more powerlifting, more than, more an aesthetic thing. So another thing I want to talk about is your setup. Okay, so your setup should start obviously from the ground up. You should start with your feet about shoulder width apart. You can experiment a couple inches out and in, but don't go too wide, don't go too close. And you want to have your toes pointing out a little bit. And then you're gonna grab right outside of your legs / your knee, where your knees are. You're gonna grab right outside of that. And you're gonna want to have an over-under grip. This is to ensure that you won't lose a deadlift to your grip. After a while, you can't hold the weight with just your hands over the bar. So you're gonna have one arm supinated, which is your hand where your palm kind of facing outward, and one where your palm is facing you. So that's called an over-under grip. Next after that, you want to retract your scapula, which is essentially pinching your shoulders. So you're gonna roll up your shoulders and then roll them back and squeeze your back kind of. And then you're gonna keep that tightness and lower and grab the bar. Stay tight. That means through your hips, through your legs. Lower your hips and try to bend your knees, because if you try to lower them too much, actually what you're gonna have is called the butt wink. Your butt wink is when your hips shoot up right before you can even pull the slack out of the bar and do the movement. So to prevent butt wink, you can have your hips a little bit more higher at your strongest point, so your butt doesn't wink, and it can also lead to injury, but it's just more of a form thing. You want to pull slack out of the bar. What that means is, without actually pulling on the weight, if you grab the bar and just tug it a little bit, you'll feel like a movement in the bar. That is called pulling the slack out. So you're going to want to pull the slack out and then, rip it off the ground. After that, you're going to want to push your hips to basically hump the bar. What this ensures is that you don't put your back in a vulnerable position after you lock it out, which is pretty bad for your lower back. So yeah, me personally, actually, well, those are pretty much the basic tips that you can start off with. After that, you can kind of experiment with what you like. Nobody's the same, and everybody's deadlift is a little bit different. So just remember to take that into account. Me personally, I'm trying to work on sinking my hips a little bit lower and bending my knees, because I feel like I do straight leg a deadlift. So I'm working on that. Another thing, you can wear a belt. It's just up to preference. I wear a belt just to help my lower back, because I do have issues. So some people don't wear it, some people do. I prefer just to use it. And other than that, that's pretty much the cues that I can give you, the basic cues. Just keep your back straight, don't round your back, keep it back straight, keep a neutral neck, neutral spine, where your spine is aligned, in a straight plane with your neck and your back. So other than that, you just want to, rip it off the ground, have a controlled aggression, but just remember to try to be as explosive as you can. And you guys can work on your deadlifts along with me. Like I said, I'm not really going for strength right now. I'm going more for more of an aesthetic thing. So usually I just do 5x5s. I might do more. Right there, I got a little angry and I slammed the bar because I was actually alone in this training session. No one was in the weight room. I actually trained at my school because, as you guys saw in the last video, I got in trouble for deadlifting at my gym. So yeah, overall I felt pretty good. I'm still getting used to that form, still getting used to trying to sink my hips a little bit more. And so yeah, like I was saying, leverages. Just remember about your leverages and the form that I taught you guys. You can also have a day where you just focus on your form, just lighten the weight a little bit, focus on having those cues, and remember to implement those, whether it's super lightweight or super heavyweight. In this next clip, you guys are going to see I actually change the angles just to see, different angles of my form and stuff like that. So right here, you guys will be able to see where I said kind of have your feet, where your feet should be, and where your hands should be, and stuff like that. So right here, I'm just getting my mind right. It's always important to get into the zone right before a lift. So right here, see I grab just right about outside of my knees. Keep a slight bend at first, sink your hips, and then pull. You guys will also see my grip and everything like that, my feet. That's just kind of how I deadlift. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. This was my last set, and after that I just did my rest of the pull workout. So this video was just to have a few tips for deadlifting and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, don't let dreams be dreams. Always chase after what you want to do, and no matter what, don't let anyone stop you. So yeah, leave in the comments what type of videos you guys enjoy the most, and I'll be uploading a video pretty soon. So I'll see you guys then. Peace.